Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Konstantinos and this is Crypto Unplugged, where I share my thoughts and ideas on all things crypto. And today I'm gonna give you my opinion on the biggest crypto YouTube channels. It's a lot of them out there, and I will make part 1, the big fish, which I have included channels with minimum of 200,000 subscribers. And I'm gonna start with Crypto Banter. Ran Neuer is one of the most connected people in crypto. He's been in media for quite some time, and he's a very good marketer. He does a show that is very easy to watch and somehow entertaining, and obviously it's quite catchy as he has managed to have more than 1 million subscribers. However, I think it can be a little bit even dangerous if you tend to follow any of his altcoin picks. So I think you should watch Ran for a news update. He's very good in bringing the latest in the crypto space when it comes to news and events. And also he has some interesting thoughts and ideas. It's like to help you think different perspectives on several crypto topics. So in that sense, I think it's good. But you need to be very careful, and I would advise you to not follow any of his picks. People are often getting very polarized. There are people that love his personality and they love him a lot. There are people that they follow all of his calls, they get wrecked, and then they hate him. So, as it will be the case with all crypto channels, you need to understand who that person is, what he does, and what you should keep and what you should discard from every person. Because in a sense, the more you watch, the better if you can filter information. Because the more channels you watch, you have a better overview of the crypto market and you have a better understanding of what's going on in the crypto space. So you are always informed and you can act early and stay sharp and informed. So Ran has included tiny meme coins like the cat emoji and the dog emoji, or previously his disaster meme coins, Gummy and Baked. He included picks like that in his bull run long-term holdings, which I think is very, very responsible. And yeah, I don't want to go further into that, but it doesn't mean that because of his picks that you should discard everything he does. Also, the channel is quite big, a lot of people there, and I have to differentiate between Ran and everyone else. Because I also want to tell you here that I believe that Kyle Dupes is probably one of the best people to follow on YouTube. He's bringing a daily crypto update. So he's very thorough, he's very methodic and very analytical. And he's quite unbiased. So he will help you understand trading if you are not a trader. So he will help you understand the charts if you don't have a good understanding of pattern formations on a chart and how price action evolves. He's very often on the opposite side comparing to Ran when it comes to decisions in and certain moves in crypto. So there will be times that Ran will suggest you buying at the same day while Kyle Dupes will suggest you to sell. And you also need to understand, again, this applies to everyone. You need to understand who are these people, how big they are, And you need to understand that these people have been in crypto several years, and they bought the bottom in 2022. So Kyle, having bought the bottom at 2022, he has now de-risked a lot, and he's very light-sized in crypto at the moment. So for people, and myself included, that we haven't bought the bottom in 2022, we're trying to catch the altcoin season this year. So we're quite invested in the market because we want to catch the alt season. However, someone like Kyle Dupes, having bought Bitcoin at 16,000 with big size and having done already 5, 10, 20 X's in a lot of Bitcoins, he doesn't have to take a risk now. So he's going very, very careful in the market. So you need to always understand who they are, who you are, and how you filter the information that you take. But I think Kyle Dupes is very good in what he does. Sheldon is a trader. He does the kind of trading that I don't like to do. He's a trend line breakout trader. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. He's a nice person. I think, again, if you're new to trading, it's good to see some of his shows, to see what other traders doing and how they trade. But be careful about following his trading calls. And then Dylan is again a trader, and he's mostly a scalper and I think low time frame trader, which is not my style. I don't follow him much, but again, he feels like an honest guy. And if you are into scalping and low time frame trading, you can use some of his ideas. I think with Dylan and Sheldon, I think you can watch a few shows to see how other people trade if you want to get into trading, but it is not the best traders to follow if you want to succeed in trading. And I think I'll keep it here for Crypto Bander, and I will move on to Eric Crown. So Eric Crown is a very unique personality, and what he does is quite unique in the sense that he does a crypto show without understanding crypto much. I do watch him for two things. I like the statistics that he gives. So for example, every day he will say if it's a Monday, 70% of the Mondays are positive and 30% of the Mondays are negative. And if they're positive, the average gain is that much, and if they're negative, the average loss is that much. So he gives some stats like this, which they don't necessarily mean something, but it's some statistics that I would like to have in mind when I assess price action or where the bull run goes. I also like the fact that he trades a lot the 5-day chart, which is something that I don't do, and I haven't seen someone else using the 5-day chart so much. So it's a time frame that I don't use. So I like to see how things look in a different time frame. So it's a little bit of a different perspective. And his ideas on the 5-time chart on Bitcoin, I think, are quite good, reasonable, and everything. I think you need to be careful if you follow him with anything that has to do with coins that are not Bitcoin. It's very clear that he doesn't know the altcoin market much. There are quite big altcoins that he doesn't really know about. And he doesn't understand, I believe, how the altcoin market moves, and how charts that look to be downtrending to death can explode in a day. You can make very bad decision if you follow what he says about altcoins, but you need to understand that he doesn't really trade altcoins. He trades Bitcoin, and I think his biggest game is to accumulate Bitcoin long term. So if you are not that person, you cannot follow his advice on altcoins if he's not an expert in altcoins. So if you do that and you get wrecked, it's your problem, not his. So it's always how you filter things, because you can always get valid points from everyone, and you are in danger when you're watching everyone. So you need to filter the information appropriately. Next one up, Alex Becker. Almost 1.6 million subscribers. What I believe from Alex Becker is that either you love him or you never watch his videos. Both are the wrong approaches, obviously. He's a huge channel, and he's very appealing to mainstream, and that's a good enough reason to watch him, because you know what drives the mainstream. So you need to be aware of that. He's big enough to really drive the price action of low market caps. He has this internet persona that can make people love him or hate him, but you need to understand that this is a persona, so he likes to do all these dirty jokes and blah blah blah, which, to be honest, even in the recent months, I think he's even getting tired of that, and it's harder for him to keep up the dirty joke show. He used to be even more intense like a year ago. And to be honest with you, in general, I think his advice is sound and solid. And again, you need to understand the game that these people play. So Alex Becker, he has millions and millions invested in the crypto market. He has been around for several years. So again, he bought the bottoms, I don't know, in 2022 or 2023. So he has made some massive gains. And now it's the last phase of the bull run, which the bigger gains can be made, but also for people like Alex Becker, there is no need to take significant risk. I'm pretty confident that most people that watch his channel, they want to find low caps that will explode, but you also need to understand that this is not what Alex Becker does. This is part of it. You need to be mindful that one of his biggest bugs, or maybe his biggest bugs, I'm not sure, it's Cardano. You need to understand that he's invested in Bitcoin. So she goes into the very low caps, but it's not with the size that goes in coins that you may be ignoring. So if you want to follow someone's advice, you need to follow it as it is, because the moment if someone tells you, if you are new to crypto, buy Cardano, buy Render and keep it there, and you don't do that, and you go to the low caps and you get wrecked, again, you didn't follow his advice. He didn't get you wrecked. He filtered his advice wrong. One very good thing with Alex is that he talks all the time about the same coins, and this is something very positive for every YouTuber. If you see someone talking about the same coins all the time, that's very good. And it is very good because it goes against what is best to grow your audience and your YouTube channel. So people want to hear about new coins. So if you want to grow your channel and your YouTube business, the best thing to do is to talk about new coins every time. If you don't do that, and you talk about the same coins all the time, you have the risk that your audience might start getting bored after some time. And when you do that, this is typical indicator that the YouTuber really has conviction in these coins and in nothing else. The only minus that I'm gonna put to Becker here is that it's pretty clear that he gets compensated from businesses to promote their token. So definitely some of the altcoins, the lower market caps that he promotes, fall into that category. And the thing is that he never discloses that. So he will never tell you, this team gave me that amount of tokens to talk about them in my videos or in my Twitter account. Which I believe this is actually legal. If you get compensated for something and you promote it, this needs to be disclosed. So this is something that I don't like, but in general, he's a guy that he doesn't really promote stuff. He talks about the same altcoins all the time. He's quite fun and entertaining to watch. And overall, I think he gives you guys very nice and good and sound advice. Raul Paul, the journeyman. It's possible that some of you don't know him. However, he's, I think, a very prominent figure in the crypto space. I think he's the one that the biggest proponent that makes popular the fact that crypto follows mainly liquidity, and the idea is that crypto price follows liquidity cycles and nothing else. So, for example, things with the tariffs recently, in his view, have nothing to do with the price action of the crypto market. It's the liquidity cycle that behaved that way, and tariffs is the narrative that applied on top of that, but it's not the cause, of the recent correction that we had. He keeps things very simple. So he has a cool stance in the sense that it's not heated and not emotional. And I think, it's one of the people that if you watch a few of his videos, especially when in very big red days or weeks, he always keeps his cool and he just says, yeah, liquidity is there, liquidity will go there, so the price will go up. There's nothing to worry, nothing to be fuzzy about. So yes, he's very respected in the space. So you should definitely be aware of him and keep an eye on what he does and what he thinks. And he's the one that popularized the term banana zone. Brian Young, more than 2 million subscribers. That's a very interesting guy. He used to do all things how to make money videos in the past. Again, I'm not sure. I believe not many people know him, at least comparing to how big his channel is. So I feel that, for example, Becker with a smaller channel is more popular than him and more well known in the crypto space. However, Brian Young can move low caps massively. And I think his Kaizen group seems to be a very wealthy group, which is why some of his calls, if they're low caps, move quite a lot in the beginning. So he used to do all things how to make money videos. A few months ago, he suddenly disappeared for a few months, and he came back to state that he has been building his crypto team and his crypto business, and he's not gonna do anything else other than crypto anymore, and he's gonna focus on crypto, and this is what he's gonna do. But again, after that, again he disappeared for a month or two. So I don't know where he stands. But he's definitely a guy that, you know, he can make some small coins explode. I had an experience with that with Schemas Dog, which is one of my conviction plays when it comes to meme coins. I saw Brian's video, I think, less than an hour after he uploaded it, when he first mentioned Ski. The price had moved from 12 million to 18 million. I was quite upset, thinking that, you know, I missed the pump. I still bought, but, you know, much less than I intended. And then over the next few days, the coin exploded to, I don't know, 200, 300 million. And so yeah, this is the kind of things that he can do. And one thing that I want to mention about Brian is that his videos are super well edited. However, it's clear that it takes him a few days to prepare the video from the moment that he shoots to the moment that he uploads. And if it takes 4, 5, 6 days, you know, things can change during the time. So you need to be aware of that, especially when it comes to his calls, right? Because if he talks about a coin at an X market cap, but the video is uploaded 5 days later, the price could have moved a lot during these 5 days, and it may not be worth the investment anymore. I think you should keep an eye to what Brian Youngs is doing. He would have been one that you should probably follow if he would have kept himself active in the business. So I don't know what he plans to do going forward, but if he's active and he starts uploading every week or more often, then you should keep an eye how he views the market. He's quite sharp in that sense. Miles Deutscher. For me, Miles is one of the most of the hardest one to form an opinion. So he used to be in Crypto Banter. He created his channel, his own channel, and he's very young. I think he's 23 years old. But he's very composed for his age, and especially over the past year, he grew a lot. So his composure and his stance and everything became more mature. But there are also some aspects of what he does that they're a bit of a concern. So he has, some sort of critical thinking, and he always has a reason to invest in what he invests. But I'm not sure about how honest he is, and how he uses his channel to pump and dump coins. I'm not sure that he does this, but I'm not sure that he doesn't do it either. And over the recent months, he started promoting his private group a lot. a lot in a very annoying way. So he would do like 22-minute videos, and he would talk like 6 or 7 minutes selling his private community. So in that sense, it became quite annoying. He has Paradise, who is a good trader, and he brings him sometimes on his show. I think the shows with Paradise are quite interesting. Again, especially if you're new to trading, Paradise is a good trader, and he's quite content and robotic. He's very emotionally unaffected from what's happening in the market. So yes, I think maybe it's worth seeing a couple of videos with Miles and Paradise together. I think you're better off not watching his channel if you're new to crypto and you struggle to navigate. I think Miles' advice and calls are the hardest to filter if you're new to crypto. Benjamin Cowen, what a dude, I have to say. He's the one that you should definitely be following. You should follow, subscribe, never miss a video and everything. I think he's the one that called the cycle better than everyone else out there and almost perfect. She got a lot of hate for being bearish over the past, 1-2 years. He ended up being right, and now he's getting, I think, quite popular because of that. His main thesis has to do with Bitcoin dominance, and his investment goes alongside that. There are two things, however, that I want to bring to your attention. So Benjamin Cowen, he does a show about crypto, and he has his business there, Into the Cryptoverse, which is a crypto business. However, he has 10% of his portfolio invested in crypto, and of this 10%, the 90% of that is Bitcoin and the 10% is Ethereum. So when you look at his overall portfolio, he has a small exposure to Bitcoin, and all his altcoin allocations are effectively Ethereum, and it's 1% of his overall investment portfolio. So all these things, are very important to have in mind when you watch these people, because if you are fully invested in altcoins, which is not Ethereum, and you follow someone that has invested in Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum and no altcoins, she has a very different filter. I also think that now, over the past 1 or 2 weeks, maybe he starts getting a little bit biased. So now it's the point that no one really knows if Bitcoin dominance will collapse from that point and we will have an altcoin season now, or if Bitcoin dominance had a correction and it will keep going up before getting the big Bitcoin dominance crash later this year, which means that the big alt season will come later this year. So this is a little bit hard to assess at the moment. I feel that Benjamin Cowen is a little bit biased, and he still wants to push his narrative that that Ethereum went to his range low comparing to Bitcoin. However, altcoins haven't gone to their range lows against Bitcoin, and he still thinks that they will do that. And this is where I don't want to say I deviate with Benjamin, because this can happen, but I think there are good reasons that the rest of the altcoins apart Ethereum, will not go to the range lows. So I think it's the same thing with Bitcoin dominance. It is very hard to assess at the moment. I think Benjamin, he gets quite fixated with the idea that it has to go. And I'm not going to give you now the reasons that why I think this might not be the case, because I will get very off topic. Next one up, Virtual Bacon, Dennis. Dennis is a very sincere guy. He looks very honest, and he's definitely very analytical. So I like his analysis a lot. I like the fact that he doesn't take anything to face value. And he wants to dive deeper in everything. So he has done some very nice videos on the 4-year excuse me, on the 4-year cycle, I don't remember what else, about ETFs and about the Bitcoin halving and everything, and in all the popular ideas in crypto, he gets deeper to try to find out if they hold true or not. And in that sense, that's very good. So this sort of videos, it's nice to watch. Again, he does an analysis, he dives deeper, he forms an opinion. It doesn't have, it doesn't have to always be to be right, but for you, it's an input that you need to consider, whether you agree or not. Sometimes you will agree, sometimes not. When it comes to his altcoin picks, I don't really follow his altcoin picks. I think he gets some things right, but he gets a lot of things wrong as well. He's definitely more into larger cap altcoins. He's more conservative than others. And he is into gaming. So when it comes to lower market caps, these are typically in the gaming sector, most of them, because I think he's the space that the narrative that he understands more than others. But yes, I think his analysis is good, but when it comes to altcoin picks, he gets things wrong. Like, for example, he was bullish on decentralized social that didn't really took off, or modularity, or some other narratives. Or for example, he invests in a few large cap meme coins, but he can invest in some low cap gaming coins. I see it the other way around. I see that if you want to be in gaming, you are better off investing to the 2-3 big gaming coins. If you want to take risk, don't hold just the very big meme coins. Go riskier in meme coins, not gaming coins. So these sort of things. But the way he approached the market and his analysis are, deserve a thumbs up. He's also an angel investor, which means that he works with teams. He's an advisor, so he's connected in the space. Jason Pizzino. The interesting thing about Jason is that he sees Bitcoin in the context of the overall economic cycles. So he's invested in real estate, and his analysis is based on on his belief that the real estate does an 18-year cycle, and the Bitcoin cycles are smaller cycles within a bigger 18-year cycle, which with his analysis is going to complete next year. So excuse me. So the new cycle started in 2008, and it takes 18 years, and it's gonna complete in 2026, probably with a very big recession in next year. Obviously, this can shift a few months, so this is a general thesis. He might change that, I don't know. But it's interesting in terms of that, and he's quite neutral and, again, unemotional when it comes to investing in Bitcoin in this case. I think he talks about Bitcoin, sometimes about Solana, so you will not get low-cap calls here. And also the way he talks in his videos, sometimes it's very hard to assess what he thinks about at least the price action in the short term, not for the next few months. But if you're looking to assess what's going to happen the next few days, Jason will not give you that in the place. And I'm bringing you all these people because I think you need input from different from people with different background and different approach to the market. If you only follow the young mainstream guys that invest in low or mid AI and gaming coins, and this is all you know, then you just know a very small part of the market. So you need to have a wider framework when you assess your investments. Early trades. I struggle to approach Elio, so I definitely like the guy a lot in a personal level, and I think he's quite honest. He's very careful in selling low cap coins. Sometimes he does, but lately he hasn't been doing that very, very often. And this is that's a plus for him. He will not sell you low caps if he's not very confident about them. So if he gives you a low cap, it doesn't mean that it will do well, but at least he's very careful how and when to give you low caps. He's a builder in the space. He's the founder of Superverse. So I do appreciate people that do not only invest in crypto, but they also build in the space. He's very big in gaming. Probably he's the go-to person for all things crypto gaming. And if you are invested in crypto gaming at all, or if you plan to do that, he's the guy to follow when it comes to that. There has been a little bit of a shift in his channel over the past few weeks, as he now is taking more of a trader's approach in the market, because he didn't used to trade, so now he becomes more and more into watching the chart, the price action, and keeping the fundamentals, but trying to trade the chart. That's fair enough. It's a good thing he does for his own sake. However, it can be a little bit dangerous for you, because if you want to trade the chart, you need a more experienced trader and not someone that he's newer to the game. That's my point. He's nice to watch. He's not someone that you will miss out if you don't. I think he's again one of these guys that are popular to mainstream. So when the average retail investor will come back in the market, they will follow people like Elio. So to follow Elio gives you awareness where the mainstream retail might navigate towards. And then I included Cryptos Aras just because, it has 800,000 subscribers. So George is like the guy next door. Very cool and everything. He talks pretty much mostly about Bitcoin. But I don't think you'll get much information out of him. It's like, if you cannot manage emotions, and if the market has short-term crashes and you get fearful and upset, you can put George on. He's always cool. He will always tell you, the price eventually will go up, so he doesn't bother, he doesn't care. So, he has this nice cool stance. But in terms of actionable information, I think it's not there, to be honest. And then there are a few channels that I don't really follow. So I'm gonna mention here, but I cannot give any structured opinion. Coin Bureau, which is the biggest with 2.67 million subscribers. I think the guys are nice. I think they're honest. So in that sense, even though I haven't watched the channel much, the guys, whenever I watch, they look okay. So yeah, thumbs up. If you enjoy this content, you can watch, but it's not something that I believe you need. Discover Crypto, I just cannot watch them. It's very. I like Josh. Josh is a nice guy. But overall, I cannot. So I cannot form an opinion. And Altcoin Daily, again, I haven't watched much. I feel you're better off though. It's again, excuse me. Again, sometimes I feel that some information that they might post might be outdated. Because even 1 or 2 days delay sometimes is enough for it to be outdated. I see it as mainstream content for mainstream people, and I don't really see the value in this channel. So whether you should follow calls that they make or not, I cannot assess because I don't really know. I don't follow the channel. I think I forgot one actually. I don't remember how many subs Invest Answer has. Yeah, because it has more than 500,000. And I do want to mention Invest Answers because it's one of these people that are different. So his investments are mainly on Bitcoin, Solana, Tesla. I don't remember if he's invested in MicroStrategy. So here is a guy that holds 2 or 3 crypto assets, being Bitcoin, Solana. I don't remember if he has any significant investment in any other crypto assets. And then he holds mainly 2 or 3 stocks. I know one is Tesla. So he has an approach which is more long term, and it's very interesting to see how other people invest in the same asset that you do, but with a very different mind frame. I think it's quite interesting to watch, at least occasionally. So you have the channels like Becker and like Elliot Trades. I think maybe you can put Dennis in the same basket in a way. Like young people, somehow mainstream, investing in crypto AI, crypto gaming, trying to catch the big moves, the bull run, make silly gains, whatever. Which is one part of it. But then you have people like Raul Paul, Jason Pizzino, Invest Answers, who they're more like long-term investors. Obviously, you need to assess for yourself who you are, but you need to be aware of different approaches and how different people approach the market. I think it's a very valid input for you. So I think you need to be exposed in as many different ideas and approaches as possible, but you need to be very careful what to extract from every one of those. And I think that's all for today, because it's already this is a very long video, so I'm not gonna dive into more comments. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And if you have any comments at all, if you like the video or not, or if you have any ideas about content that you would like more of, or whatever else, please leave a comment below. I do read all the comments. And until next time, take care.